if you practice enough, if you get used to it, if you frequency match it, basically everything is a frequency match. If you sun gaze and you want to be okay with sun gazing any time of the day, it's important to frequency match. Sorry, I'm playing with light, see. It's important to frequency match the light of the sun, so to get to a similar vibration, so that eventually it it doesn't harm your eyes whenever you look at it. Like many people now are using sunglasses all the time, and it's something I don't do for a long time. Using sunglasses, I only use sunglasses in airports when I'm meditating waiting for a flight. That's the only, and it's not for protecting myself from the sun. It's actually for hiding my eyes to be able to meditate without anyone seeing. Hi Erica, you're in the car. Mind your driving, please. Especially in, you're not driving, good. Hands free. Someone cheerful has just joined. So for the ones watching on Facebook, just wanted to mention that we're streaming from the Pranic process online. We're gonna stream for about 15-20 minutes, as far as I feel it's important. Then you can join us using the link in the bio, in the description of the video, just so that you know where you've landed in this video, where during the Pranic process online. And for those who just joined on Zoom, we were talking about sun gazing and about the importance of light, and how light, the external light that we absorb through our eyes and our skin and our systems, how it affects or impacts our whole general well-being and our pranic nourishment. And I just talked about the importance of using warm light instead of white light in the house. It's crucial for our health. It's crucial for the way our pineal is functioning, and it's crucial for our pranic intake. I just changed my light bulbs in the house today, so I'm very happy about it. And I was now talking about sun gazing. I was saying that it's really important to take it gradually. It's really important to follow the steps that Hira Ratan Manek is offering on his website. I'm actually going to place an article on my website as well about sun gazing. I have to remind myself. But it's also, after a lot of practice, you can reach a stage where you can basically sun gaze at any time in the day, not looking directly at the sun. You can look, if you didn't catch the sunrise or sunset, which is basically keeping most of the people from sun gazing because they didn't wake up at the right time. If you didn't do that, what you can do is anytime during the day, look somewhere below the sun, not directly into it, and absorb the rays that come from it, from the area that is below, a few centimeters below the sun disk. You can point your sight, and not do it, and not keep your eyes wide open. Maybe filter the light a little bit, and you can sun gaze for a few seconds to a few minutes, just to absorb that and nourish yourself, even if you didn't catch the sunrise or you're not available at sunset. That's what you can include in your program, in your day-to-day habits, even if you are not able to wake up every day and do the regular practice that they describe on the website. I warn you not to look directly on the sun though, because that might affect really badly your eyes if they're not used to it. I was saying that at this point, after 10 years of sun gazing, I am able to sun gaze any time of the day, and I'm most of the day sun gazing if I'm outside. But just don't try this at home, because it's not healthy. I mean, this is something that it has to be frequency matched in time, and not all people are some people are coming from sun, some people are coming from other systems, and their bodies and energy fields are not adapted very well to this practice, so they have to follow the rules of the sun gazing that are on Hiraratan Manek's website. It's quite important. And if you sun gaze, there are so many benefits. Of course, the benefit of absorbing the sunlight, which is great in itself, it goes directly through your to your pineal, and it has been observed by monitoring Hiraratan Manek and also Prahlad Jani. In the case of Hiraratan Manek, after speaking to his doctors, they told me that his pineal was literally enlarged. You know, it has been noticed and studied that sun gazing impacts the pineal, but his was actually measured, and it was measuring, I believe, 4 millimeters more than a normal pineal gland, which is something extraordinary. So not only your pineal changes his capabilities, his capacities, but it's actually enlarging physically. It could be because of the sun gazing, you know, and that tells a lot about all the other rhythms that can be changed in the body, because the pineal has so many roles. It controls the whole endocrine system to some degree. It has an important role in hormonal balance. Of course, it has a crucial role. It has a crucial role in mental balance. So people who have depression, people who have anxieties, people who aren't able to get out of negative streams of thoughts, if they do sun gazing, they're going to be positively impacted, and their mind will become stiller, cleaner, and more positively oriented. It's just purified by the light of the sun and by the impact of the sun rays. And sun has the property or the ability to actually purify everything. If you put something in the sun, you know, it charges the water, it treats the skin. If you have blemishes on the skin and you stay in the sun, it can go away. It everything you want to it purifies the crystals. If you put them outside, it purifies and charges them. Actually, my crystals are always sitting in the sun during the day, as I am, and then we come back home, all of us, during the evening time. So it's always that I put them outside to be charged during the day, as many as I can. Some have an important role in the house and they are kept there all the time. The website of Hiraratan Manek, I will write it in a chat. Thanks, Erica, for sharing. Erica says that I can only stay about 20 minutes. Yes. Somebody here in the comments says about light. I also not noticed that probably that the lights affects us, but for me it's not enough to buy warm color. I always buy the old light bulbs. I use sunglasses. My eyes got sensitive to sunlight during the last years. Uh, it's true that they can become sensitive if you spend lots of time in a room that is not properly enlightened, if you spend lots of time at the computer, or if there's other imbalances. But with sun gazing that is done regularly, that will go away. I feel affected by sunlight light when I spend too much time at the computer, for example. Then when I go out, the sunlight is almost, you know, uncomfortable for a little while. Then I suddenly adapt to my natural rhythm of enjoying sunlight, because I'm very, very much enjoying sun, you know. But if you spend much time in a room that is not properly, it doesn't have good light, or it has computer light too much, then the eyes are affected and um, no longer tolerating sunlight. I have many friends working in IT or computer work, coding of any kind, and they're affected by that. So it's something important that we change. And if you're doing computer work, I don't know, Tanya, if that's your case, but it could be something else in your case. I don't know exactly. But if you're doing computer work, just take time during the day, every half an hour or maximum 1 hour of computer work. Take time to, you know, rub the palms of your hands, see light coming out from your palms of your hands, and then put your palms of your hands on your on your eyes, and keep them on your eyes like this for a while. I said that the other day. And yeah, if you're outside most of the day, I am not figuring out at the moment, but it will come to you if you want to know this answer of why your eyesight is changing. Maybe it's a vitamin, maybe it's something else, maybe, you know, it can be anything. But it's interesting to see why. Um, so those of you who are on Facebook, if you're enjoying this, check the link in the comments that I'm going to place in a second, and maybe join us for the whole gathering, and for, or also for the whole 8 meetings that we're having during the Pranic process online, where you learn important things of how to keep your vibration high, how to keep your immune system very well built, and how to nourish yourself more on prana and less on food. Who has had a beautiful time after the meditation last night, or any you know, things that are new that you've experienced? I'm now talking to the Zoom people. Is there anyone who wants to share about this? In the meantime, I'm placing the link on Facebook, because I'm multitasking here like a big mama that I am. Yesterday I was also Mother's Day, so happy birthday, happy day, happy Mother's Day. Those of you who were mothers, I forgot to say that during yesterday. So no one has something to share about the meditation. If you have any questions, also keep in mind and ask them before we go into meditation. You know, if you have anything to add or any comments to make, so that while we go in meditation, we can maybe complete after it with just staying in peace. Let's see. Very peace, had a beautiful day, very peaceful within, love passing through my body from top to toes. Wow, that's quite an experience. Thank you, Tanya, for sharing. I'm happy to hear that. I did some, and tonight also I feel to talk a little bit with you about ancient civilizations or advanced civilizations. I feel it's an important topic to approach while we're approaching pranic nourishment. You know, not to think that we're the only ones who can nourish ourselves by prana, because we actually all come from various star systems where we've learned that. And I believe that's why there's so many pranic modalities in the world. Somebody shares the process some way, and others share the process some other way, and others share some other techniques. Having talked to most of the pranic people that are, you know, now on the pranic stage, you know, stepping outside, having talked to them, I've noticed, as much as I'm able to assess this, I've noticed that each one has his own star system or star lineage that he's connected to, you know, and that's why the opinions and the approaches might be so different. You know, they're doing the same thing, nourishing by prana, but in such different ways. Some are more hybrids like I am, some are completely in a breatharian state. They can't take any solid or even liquid juices. Some are in between, you know, only with liquids. Some are sharing 21 days, some are sharing 10 days, some are doing dry fasts included in their processes. I myself never recommend dry fast in my processes, just because I feel everybody should be testing their kidneys before dry fasting. And hello, this is very important, like top notch thing to check before dry fasting. If you're not checking your kidneys and you go into 3 to 7 days the dry fast, I don't know how your kidneys are going to take that and make it through. And please remember that kidneys are the very storage of your energy, or of your life energy. Your vital energy is stored there. to the point where if you deplete it, your body only reaches to that level. There's a super super important reserve of energy that your body keeps for the moment of death, so that it can shoot out your spirit from your body. If you deplete that as well, and many people deplete that either through dry fasting or through using drugs. Attention, drugs are not entertainment, not even pot. They're really really depleting for your adrenals and kidneys. And that's why many people who are using various uh, plant-based medicines, like they're so trendy now to talk about it, they are very depleted, and some of them develop autoimmune disease of some sort. I don't know if you've noticed with your friends, but I have friends that are having various allergies, various autoimmune disease, all caused by the fact that the energy of the body is becoming very depleted, because you shoot yourself out all the time in a forced way. You're not doing naturally, like through meditation. You're using a product or a plant or something that is shooting yourself out. And if you're shooting yourself out forcedly too many times, you're using that energy that should shoot yourself out when you die. And it's difficult then to live, because you're transmissioning to your body the signal that you're ready to skip out, and it gets confused. So you're basically very very it's not good. That's all I can say. It's not good, it's not good, it's not good. I'm not using anything ever, because I know, and I'm going to say it forever, and this comes from the advanced civilizations that I was going to talk about. This message is directly from them. Always when I tune into my origins, I keep talking about this. If you want to be on a pranic path, try to keep your energy in your body. Don't shoot it out, don't deplete it. No ayahuasca is going to help you bring yourself back. If you want and are interested, I can send you a big article on, because it's coming from very advanced light beings, and they're very accurate about the description of what hallucinogenic plants are doing on all levels: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, you name it. They're describing everything, and they're accurate, and I know they're accurate because I had the same guidance way before I've read about it, so I know it's true. So that's why I'm not using nor recommending anything. Whenever somebody comes and suggests to me to do a mixed workshop, with meditation and plant-based stuff, I exclude the plant-based, just because you never know what's its origin, has it been modified or not, this and that. I mean, people should really test and should really investigate deeply what they're using, if they're using anything. And please don't tell me that you already know about it, because I know the stuff that's happening in the world. And with that, I'm going to close the subject, just to not push too much against the reality that is so very present. But I had to check on that, just because it's a very important hiccup in the spiritual path that people associate with being spiritual, which is really not. Sorry to say that, guys, because you can reach the same states, maybe not as quick. It takes some diligence, but with meditation and pranayam and yoga, you can reach the same states or beyond. And there's nothing, to deplete your body or to create, how to say, holes in your auric field in those practices that I just described. So we can talk more about it. Write me a message if you want to learn more. Don't shoot the messenger. This is not coming from me. This is a downloaded message. It is necessary for the group. If you have a different opinion, I'm totally respecting it. And you have the right to do anything with your body and your life, but it has to be said, this thing. It's part of our gathering today. All of them, to answer to Tanya, all of them, you name it. I mean, any of them is not, from my perspective, any of them is not good in my view. But I am again giving space for everyone to have a different opinion. For me, even a sip of alcohol, if it alters my state of mind by impacting my body first, not in a natural way, then I'm not using it. I prefer to get wherever I want to go with my own energy shift, not to use anything from outside. That's my way. But again, everyone is free to try anything else. Ancient civilizations and advanced civilizations, though, are highly recommending for us to start practicing deeper and stop using shortcuts. It's an important step for the evolution of humanity that we fully acknowledge our divine power and not search for external crutches to find it. Otherwise, there's not necessarily a physical dependence, but as my friend Nassim Haramein was saying, who's a physicist and scientist, was saying that it creates also psychological dependence. So you don't necessarily depend on the physical state that it gives you, but you do depend from the psychological state that you get in, and therefore you're not willing to take the time and diligence to get into that state by yourself, which is possible. Actually, most of the masters have done it by themselves, and that's what they show and prove during their path. And that's what has been stable and organic and long-term result. And it never goes away after a few hours. It stays with you. So that's the difference, between being diligent and being in a shortcut journey. The ascended masters, the beings of light, the advanced civilization representatives that are connecting with us are highly recommending for us to stop using shortcuts and start getting to it, because it is possible for each one of us to actually have an organic and profound spiritual experience, even enlightenment, by their own energy mastery. And that's the true mastery on a spiritual path. Actually, that's the true pranic state. That's the true overall clearing and cleaning of blockages, and true deep diving into yourself. With crutches, you can get to a certain point, but you're always gonna have a plafond. You're always gonna have only up to that level that you can go. And there's some neural pathways or some circuitries of energy that are woven in the usage of these things that keep you from going beyond that. So yes, you have some impact on yourself, you have some discoveries, you have some end results, but it's not the ultimate or the highest possibility for you. It keeps you into a loop somehow. That's the secret of it. That's what very little people or none are telling. And it's necessary now that we wake up to it, because there's many spiritual people that really can't go beyond a certain state just because they're not following the right steps to it in some way. They're always in one way or another going through shortcuts. If you want quicker evolution, though, and you're not patient to work by yourself in your home and so on, you could actually do something more useful and organic. You can work with or visit sacred sites and energy vortexes. That's what's gonna to some point, to some degree, enhance your energy field, prepare it, upgrade it, repattern it. And if you can handle that energy, like I'm constantly in energy vortexes now, moving from one to another, constantly. Like I've been to 3 of them just today, and another 3 yesterday, and the day before I was just coming from 2 temples. So that's my life. But it keeps you into a state where you need to master your energy. Otherwise, you can get too ungrounded or too expanded and so on. So there's also a catch to this thing, when it's an overdose of traveling to them. But um but to some degree, if you visit one or two, or a few of them during half of a year, you can get an enhanced spiritual leap, and lots and of spiritual realizations, just by tuning into such places. That's the organic, natural way to do it. And I've had people, because I always take people to these places after the Pranic festivals. In Pranic festival in Romania, we go to a circuitry to the energy vortexes of Romania, some specific temples, some specific sacred sites here. And also in India, after the Pranic festival, there we went to some specific places that are connected to ancient civilizations and to advanced civilizations that are living now, either below or beyond the surface of the planet, that are connected to us. And I've had people having massive leaps, all of their lives changes. One of my participants this summer had to take 2 days off because she was constantly contacted by her soul family of star beings, and she wanted to be in the villa to be able to get all the messages. And she did a fantastic testimonial after. I had no idea that she was going through. I mean, she told us just that she wants to be by herself. Then she told us what she was doing. So there's been contacts, there's been new realizations, that we're not alone. There's been remembering of various lifetimes of abilities that people are having, that they can reassess or reaccess during these journeys. And that's an organic way to spiritually evolve, while also having a nice walk in nature. And that's what I highly recommend, instead of other methods that imply green or non-green plants. I'm gonna scroll through and if you want to know more about these trips that we're gonna start doing as soon as the gates open, you check soulhealingacademy.com/events. There's the link in the comments, and there you see the trip of the sun, the one in Romania that is in August, right after the festival, August 19th to 22nd, and the one in India that we do in March. It's March 9th to March 11th. Beautiful, beautiful trips, amazing trips that we did with the groups. And where we go, there's actually gateways or pathways, and I'm going to tell you how it's connecting to pranic nourishment. There's pathways of connection or gateways of connection to these very advanced civilizations. Sometimes it's a cosmoport where they actually come and visit with their ships, like I have here in my mountains right next to my house. I have quite a few cosmoports here. And sometimes it's just places where the people from the ancient civilizations from under earth, which are living in actual cities below the earth, which is actually possible. And if you want more details, I know Elaine knows now about it, and she has met them, actually, some of them. And I know some of you have heard of them. If you want more details, you can look into the books Telos. There's 3 volumes written by Aurelia Louise Jones, and they give you a lot of explanation about these civilizations. And for the Romanians, and also for everyone, there's the author Radu Cinamar. I'm sure you've heard of him if you've been to the festivals, especially. Radu Cinamar has 5 or 6 books in English already that you can read, all describing various meetings with advanced technologies and advanced civilizations from this area and from other under earth. And he's describing in deep detail how their technologies are, how they're organizing their societies, how their relationships, how they're bringing up children. and their relation to nourishment, which is basically very relaxed in terms of they don't really need nourishment, but they can manifest an apple and taste it if they want to, because they're still enjoying taste, same as we do here, same as I do. And they can also have something that is not juices, but it's like extracting the essence of taste and energy from a certain fruit. And it's in a liquid plasmatic form. I don't know how to explain, almost like amrita. So if you ever tasted amrita, it's something like that. It's not really liquid, but it's not really just energy. It's something in between that they extract from a fruit and they drink it. It's a beautiful way to just tasting something in a very, very high energy form. And you can also do it here, if you tune deeper into a fruit or a vegetable and you don't want to eat it because maybe your body is not happy to do so, you can actually, how to say, make contact with that product and really extract or feel the energy from it to the very point where you feel the taste of it. I have friends who are eating and I'm feeling the taste of what they're eating, or feeling the energy of how that feels in my body. If it's something I like, I allow this to happen, and it allows me to do so without burdening my body with the matter of that product, with having to chew it, digest it, running through my system. Just extract the essence of it and just, taste it or energy testing it without any other burdens for the body. You can do that. Everybody can do if we're fine-tuned enough. And Asian civilizations are, or no, not Asians, but advanced civilizations are having this possibility, and it's really, really easy for them. And it's one of their, preferred ways of nourishing. They also have specific juice extractors that are actually extracting this type of substance, I would call it, from fruits or vegetables. So it's a very different system of nourishment than we use here, and that reflects actually in the whole way they're using energy. So I always say that we're only gonna be able to have free energy on this planet with our devices, with our cars or vehicles, with everything else, when we're able to encompass that in our system and believe in it. So only when our bodies and our mental systems are able to frequency match that concept by actually feeling it, encompassing it, only then the planet is actually going to evolve to the stage where our energy will be free. And if you look at the lives of the breatharians, or of the people nourished by prana, if you look at Eltrayan, if you look at many others, most of them are almost living beyond the grid, beyond the grid, sometimes not needing a home, sometimes not needing a, they are not caught into the whole energy game of monetizing things the way people regularly do, with jobs or with constant working. They're not paying the same things that normally people pay, with having bills constantly, or rent, or whatever, mortgage. They are living in a different bandwidth with abundance and with energy, and they're accessing energy through their physical life, through their manifestation life, in a different way. I don't know if you've noticed that, but this is very directly correlated to the way we're using energy through our bodies. Because when we're manifesting this freedom, we can also live it. As above, so below, as within, so without. And when within, we're going to be certain that we're energy free or energy autonomous, we're going to be easily, in the blink of an eye, as a planet, able to switch into free energy instantly. And the reason we don't have free energy devices now is not that there's not yet discovered, or there's not yet proved, or there's the conspiracy theory with the corporations that don't let us. It's not about them. In a blink of an eye, they don't even exist if we move into that state of consciousness. They are a structure or a creation of reality that is manifesting itself just as long as we maintain it through our level of consciousness, by feeling bound to certain resources that we need to have. When we're gonna be free by the concept that we need these resources, the whole systems that keep people bound in this acquiring resources game that is not free energy is gonna collapse very easily. Does this make sense to you, or is too woo-woo? Not too woo-woo? I want to hear the Facebook guys. I've gone very far out with my speech today, but it's coming from quite a high source, I believe, and I really want to hear your take on it. Is it possible that we have free energy? Is it possible that we're nourished in this way? What do you think? Is it possible for us to utilize free energy soon with devices and with everything? What do you think? Oh, I see there were a lot of comments in the Facebook chat and I never noticed one of them. Okay. So thanks everyone for commenting. Also here, if there's some, it makes perfect sense. It is. I mean, yeah. And Patty here is saying the same thing. So is it logical that as within, so without? Yes? Is it logical that we can only manifest in our reality if we believe and live it within ourselves? It is logical. That's the key of manifestation. That's the very law of attraction. That's the very basis of the whole creation. So the more we move into a lighter way of nourishing ourselves and harnessing energies in our bodies, the more we're able to manifest abundance and free energy in all of our systems around us. And it is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is, and it is so, and so be it. Because I like to also play with words. I hope humanity is ready for it, because it's coming. And with this, I'm closing the Facebook streaming. Thanks guys for watching. Check the links in the comments to be able to join the full webinar of tonight. It's gonna be super awesome with the meditation that we're doing a bit later. I mean, not very late from now. And a lot of clearing and healing is going on here while we're joining together every night. So you might want to join the whole 7 so now it's total 8 days, but you're gonna receive the recordings of the days that have passed. Check the link, join us, let me know in a short message if you want to be with us tonight or in the days to come. Big hugs and much love.